Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be recreating one of my samples from the Unicorn Dreams launch. This is a new collection from Hunkydory that launched recently, and I absolutely adored making the samples for this launch. So now it's all done, now it's out, now people are starting to get it and receive it. I thought, let's come back, let's make some cards using it, let's recreate my samples so you can see how easy it was to make them. So I'm going to flash up on the screen now the card that I'm going to be recreating today. Most of the products I'm using are from the Unicorn Dreams kit. There's a couple of things that are just going to be from my stash, like a card blank, foam pads, stuff like that. I've got the Hunkydory versions, but I saved those for design team work, if that makes sense. So if you've got Hunkydory, use it. If you haven't, use what you've got, and let's make this beautiful card. So from the Unicorn Dreams set, I am going to be using this piece of cardstock. I have the I Believe in You topper set, the Magically Moonlit topper set, a random sentiment from Make Today Amazing. I have the Acetate, it's the star one. I have this double-sided paper. And then, as I said, from my personal stash, I have a card blank. Now, this is an 8x8, so my measurements are going to be for this. If you've got the Hunkydory one, they are 8x8, just make it a little bit bigger. And then I also have this, which I love. Again, this isn't Hunkydory, but they did do one similar for this launch. I've just noticed this one's got a bit of a design fault down the left-hand side. There's like a line, but that shouldn't be a problem because it'll be covered over anyway. So let's get started. So there's just a little bit of cutting to do, which we'll do in a second. First thing I'm going to do is measure this card blank and work out exactly how big it is. So mine's about 7 3/4 square. Okay, so I am just going to go and use this score line here, and I'm going to put this at, I think, 2.5. I think for the launch I did 2, but I feel like I want to do this one at 2.5. And then I'm going to just trim this down. I'll get rid of that. So now we have a panel to work on, which is 2 inches. So now what we need to do is cut our mats and layers. So we are going to need a mat and layer for this section here, which will be using this side of the cardstock and also this. So for my one, I'm probably going to go 7.5 by 7.5 for this, and then 7.25 by 7.25 for that one. So I'll get those cut down and adhered, and then I'll be back. There we go. So that is now all adhered down. You can see there's nice even borders all the way around. So now what we need to do is cut our acetate to size. So we're going to want to cut the acetate, if you lay it over the top, you want it to go from this edge here to this edge here, and you want it to be the same size top and bottom. So my one is going to be 7 3/4 square. If yours is a Hunkydory one, just do it 8x8, you'll be absolutely fine. So I'll get that cut down and be back. There we go. Now to adhere this, what we're going to use is we're going to use some red tape. Again, mine's just from my stash. Hunkydory do red tape, and that's what I used when I did my sample. And we are going to run this along this flap here. Okay, so we're just going to put a few lines of red tape down. Don't use your good scissors to cut it, because you don't want to get them all gunky. So make sure you go down both edges so that it holds, and then you can put some in the middle as well. go. Then I normally use the top of my scissors and just press it down, press it in. If you've got a bulb folder, that will work just as well. You just want to make sure it's really well adhered to the cardstock. And then let's clear this up a little bit. I'm going to remove the release papers. I don't know about anybody else, but I find these get really staticky, if that's even a word, like they stick to everything. Okay, then carefully just lay your acetate over the top and press it into place. Line it up really, really well. And then give it a really good press. And then to hide that mechanism, we're going to come back in with a matte layer of the mirror, and we're going to use this piece of this cardstock. So I'm going to cut this one to exactly 2.5, because that's the same as this one. So this one's going to be 2.5 by the length of my card blank, because this is going to hide all that tape. So 7 3/4, and then I said 2.5. We go, and that's going to go straight on the top like that. You're going to need to use red tape to put that down. And then what we're going to do, we're going to bring our trimmer in, and we are going to trim off this one here at 2 1/4. And then we're going to trim it down to 7.5. So that we get a nice even border all the way around there. And then you're going to attach that on as well. So I'll get that done and then come back. Okay, so that is all stuck down. That will now stand up on its own. Looks really, really pretty. So we need to add our toppers. So we're going to bring in the I Believe in You topper set, and we're going to use this really big one here. We're going to leave it as a whole. We're not going to take any of the frames apart. Just going to carefully slot it out. And then I'm just going to go around and take the notches off. And then this one is going to sit overlapping the panel, but going onto the acetate. Now, what I did on my sample is I did put a little bit of tape in each corner of the red tape, just to try and hold it closed. Honestly, if you're giving it to someone and you think they're going to notice, back it onto something to cover the workings. But I'm going to be giving this to, or my daughter will be giving this to one of her friends for her birthday. So I'm not overly worried, because I don't think they'll notice. A little bit of tape holding the topper closed. See, it's just a little bit like that. Just got some fraying of my tape. And then I'm going to run tape down the side that's going to adhere to the panel. I'm going to use it to also hold this side of the frame shut. we go. Let's just push the tape on, and we can take the release papers off carefully. If you only did the one side that's going on here, this other bit flaps on the acetate, which is why I added the extra tape to those corners. Okay, so we're going to centralize it. We're going to have a slight overlap. I'm going to pop it there, push it down. See how pretty that looks. So now we need sentiments. So that's why I've got magically moonlit, because I think we're going to have birthday wishes and have a magical day. So just pull those off. Just take the notches off of this. Again, if you were giving this to somebody that's going to be looking, you could back this to hide the tape, but I don't think a little girl is going to be that worried. So I'm going to put have a magical day there, and I'm going to put birthday wishes up there. So the birthday wishes I'm going to put on a foam pad. Just to give it some dimension. There we go, and this one's going to have to be red tape because it's going onto the acetate. So just put a couple of little strips down here. I think I've changed this ever so slightly since my sample. I don't think I used as many sentiments on the sample, but it goes to show how you can take someone else's idea and just change it up a bit if you want to. And I do like to spread inspiration, so hopefully someone will find this useful. So we're just going to pop this down in the bottom corner, just there. There we go. And then just to finish it, I think I might add a couple of gemstones here. So again, these are just from my stash. They're just generic little, I don't know, embellishments. Just going to pull them off and pop them up that side, just in the corner. And because they're kind of joined, it does make it easier. You don't have to worry about spacing and being even, because it automatically does it for you. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And then my daughter has a lot of room to write on the back, which is great, because being 5 and learning to write, you can imagine how that sometimes goes. But she's doing very well. But isn't that beautiful? It will stand up all on its own, and that is the finished card. I really hope you have enjoyed today's video and found it easy to follow along too. Any questions, any issues, drop me a message down in the comment section. I'm happy to help and answer any questions, but I really do hope it's pretty straightforward. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do hit the big red subscribe button. It does help my channel grow and reach more people, and I do like to put this kind of content out regularly. I also show the collections as and when I get them and they've gone live. And you'll always find my samples at the end of one of my launch videos. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate everyone that takes the time out of their day to come and watch my videos. Please do let me know what you think of this card down in the comment section, and let me know if you're going to have a go. Feel free to tag me over on Instagram if you are going to give it a go. I'll leave my Insta linked in the description box, and I will also leave Hunkydory's website linked as well. It's not an affiliate link, it's literally just to be helpful. But if you have this and want to top up, you can go and grab some more. If you don't have this and you want to grab it, you can. Or if you just want to have a look at Hunkydory, jump over and have a look. They have lots of really beautiful collections. If you don't have this collection but you like the idea of the card, use whatever you do have. There's nothing to say you can't recreate this with stuff you already have in your own stash, and it's so much fun to go shopping in your own stash and rediscover things that you bought and then hadn't got around to using yet. I will be back soon with more videos, so until next time, thank you once again for watching, take really good care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.